Good afternoon, Trader Tim from eMini Mind. Going to do a trade recap video for this week. Today is Thursday, the 23rd of August, 2018, and an interesting week, to say the least. In one sense, we could be at perhaps the biggest double top we have ever seen in the S&P. And on the other hand, we could be on our way to breaking through highs and trading into all-time highs. But the price action that we had on Tuesday with this big inverted hammer right at highs, almost touching that all-time high, that's a pretty bearish sign. However, I was almost expecting or looking for us to break Tuesday's low here on Wednesday and really trend lower in a big body candle to the downside. And we didn't get that. Now, 3 days of topping tails, sort of widening where the highs are a little bit higher, minus this high on Tuesday, but the lows have gotten lower. So today was a engulfing pattern. As I looked at the 512 today, a tough week, very tough week. As I talk to traders and just go through the markets myself, as I've been reminding everyone, August is just a strange, tough month. So if you've been struggling this month, the last couple weeks, don't knock yourself too hard. Don't feel too bad because that's just how August goes. But as I look at today's trade and as I zoom in here on the 512, I mean, when you get in these situations where you have uh, setup after setup, where they just keep going entry to target, you know, it in a sense, there's a lot of computerized algorithmic trading happening when you get a lot of these very clean setups, one after another after another. And so, there is activity up here. And as we look at taking a look at some of the indices here, once my profit charts load, you know, there's there's points in the market where you want to be active and you want to be participating, and this is definitely one of them. So even though it's been a tough or just kind of a challenging week, I'm definitely paying attention up here. So as we look at, the Russell, a pretty clean breakout with a bull flag. Then we have the Nasdaq, not really breaking out, but still a ascending triangle. If we sidestep and look at Google, sort of a descending channel. Amazon looking good. Netflix very much off its highs. Apple pretty strong. And then we come over and look at the Dow. Little bit of a pullback, good volume on the rally. And then the SPY, mediocre volume, but sort of just moving sideways. There's a lot of opportunity for us to be um, either breaking out or pulling back. But either way, it's going to be, it should be a sustaining move. When we come out of summer into September, we should get, a trend developing that takes us through the end of the year. So that's why I say this is a very important telling time. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick, are we going higher or are we going lower for that trend this fall, but we're definitely at that inflection point. So pay attention and be, ready to act. And especially here as we almost are close to these highs, I have been looking for opportunities to get into a long, but I'm also, being cautious and looking for signs that we're going to go into like a bigger body trend day to the downside, in which case we might get, a handful of good short setups, and the short setups really run quickly. You can get into a setup and all of a sudden, boom, it's down 4 or 5 points. Whereas the longs, yeah, sometimes they run and move up quickly, but usually they take a little bit more time. So as we head into Friday, we're kind of right back at this consolidation 2850s area. Um, but if we were to move lower, big body candles, I think, are in our near-term future. If we, kind of hold where we're at or maybe move a little bit higher, all we have to do is break 75 and a quarter. But being a Friday, we may just be a tight inside day. You don't know. Um, Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about in terms of today's trade. I mentioned the short string that we had here, but um, these when we have days with long tails, typically there's some big swings in the day, and then today we kind of just had a move up and then a move straight back down with these nice shorts on the way down. So that's what I'm seeing here on the ES. The ticks weren't overly helpful today. I didn't really see anything that stood out, but I'm definitely paying attention up here. And as we get after Labor Day, I would expect the markets to really start that longer term trend. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. If you have questions, you can shoot me an email, tim@emoneymind.com. And Monday, I'll be doing a webinar. Actually, I'm bringing Kevin in from Top Step Trader to talk about their program and how you can go through their combine and become a funded trader if that's something that interests you. They've got a good program and quite a few back traders already, and there's a handful of E-mini Mind members who are trading with Top Step. So if that's something that interests you, you can check that out at emoneymind.com. The link's right on the homepage. Thanks and have a great weekend.